Alright, how's everyone going? This isn't going to be a update about the truck, ain't going to be an update about the CRV. I'm talking about the truck a little bit, but not too much. The big news is this book. It is a service manual for a boom 1988 Yamaha 250. It is a Route 66 edition. It's my first bike. I heard that was really good for a beginner bike. So I went ahead and jumped on it. Of course, it's a little bit of a project, but one of the reasons I got it. Let's go outside and take a look at it. Cherry bombs. CRV. Alright, this is the first part of it. Yeah, the frying pan. Okay, this is what was wrong with it. Needs a carb cleaned, and the carb intake is pretty cracked up. But this is it. It's a Route 66 edition. It's a Yamaha 250. The Viragos, or whatever they're called, most of the parts are compatible for this. So my plans for it is to make it more of a bobber. Like, get rid of the shocks, drop that down a little bit, get rid of the rear fender, make a scoop seat. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get it running and see how I can handle it. Because I've had a lot of pit bikes, dirt bikes. I've rode 250 dirt bikes before, but this is a little bit heavier, and I know it's not a big beast. It's smaller and a lot slower of a bike than what I could have. So this is what I'm going to be starting out with. But like I said, all I got to fix is like the carburetor intake or whatever. This rubber piece right here, I already ordered it, and I'm going to clean the carb out. I already heard it run when I had it, but it was spewing gas all out of the vacuum line. So I'm pretty sure one of the jets in the carburetor is just clogged up. But yeah, I just want to show you guys all my bike. A lot more updates and everything to come on it, for sure. But it was more of an impulse. I know I probably don't need any more projects around here. CRVs. Just everything's a project, but I couldn't help myself. I love the wire wheels and the old school look, so I picked it up. It's got a clean title, and I'm gonna be driving it to work. So I just wanted to show you guys the new bike, and that a lot more updates will be coming on it. Alright, well, I got a hold of my Uncle John already, so I'm going to go ahead. Here, let me put them on here so you can kind of see what it looks like. The bitch seat, gotta have it, you know, drive the woman around. But that's what it looks like right now. Someone just rewrapped it with a t-shirt or whatever, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that off to him now, and then I'll have the seat back, and my carb intake part, whatever you want to call it, is going to be coming in on Friday. So I'll have a new update on this on Friday, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drop that seat off, and then hopefully I'll find someone to come over and help me put my bed on, but I'm not sure yet. I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright, since you saw me last with the bike, I left and dropped the seat off at my Uncle John so he could redo it, and just got back from the DMV, got the title transferred to my name. Now I gotta go ahead and fix this thing up, make it run so I can get it inspected. This is what's wrong with it. The joint in between here that held the carburetor on, that was all cracked and frayed. Got a new one. Ordered it from Harley-Davidson. Shazam. So then I went ahead and started cleaning the carb out. Alright, that's pretty much clean. There's still a little bit of... if you can see my shadow on my finger, some stuff right in there. Some little dirt, but it's all cleaned out. It's the last jet I have to unclog. This is what the whole carburetor looked like before I took it apart, though. I just got some cleaner just sitting in the bottom of it. It's pretty fucking disgusting. But yeah, it ran when I got it. It was just flooding gas out of this vacuum line that goes to this box right here. I mean, it was just bleh. it ran, but I couldn't drive it home. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that installed with the new O-rings and put some sealant on each side, install that, clog that last jet out, put the carburetor back together, put it back on, and then hopefully she fires up. I have to go get fresh gas too. And then also I found a different problem down here. This wire's all frayed and whatever. I don't know where I just put that little piece at. Oh, I stuck it back in here. Ugh. I don't know what that goes to, but it ran without it, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix it with the camera focus. It's this, and then I might go ahead, and since these are really brittle, go ahead and snap them off, put new fittings and everything on there. So no more of those break. But yeah, it's a couple problems with the bike I've got. I'm gonna go ahead and get all that settled, drain the tank, put new gas in it, and then I'll hopefully get back to you guys once I'm firing it up. So until then. Alright, well, went and got carburetor cleaner, you know, clean out the carbs. It was fucking nice like an hour ago. Out of nowhere, clouds rolled in, started shitting on me, so. In the kitchen, rebuilding the carb. 3 of the bolts came out fine. I mean, 3 of the screws came out fine on the top of it. One of them was stripped out. I don't think it's gonna focus, but one of them was stripped out. Had to drill off the top of it very carefully and get that out. So I'm gonna have to get another screw, but not a big deal. Got the top of the carburetor off. The bottom of the carburetor's already been cleaned out. All 3 of the jets were cleaned out. I cleaned the whole side of the carburetor and everything like that. And then I noticed on the inside of the carburetor on the other side that black thing in the middle of that doesn't flow up and down as good as any other carburetor I ever worked on. So I think that's stuck, so that's why I went ahead and took off the top of it. And why I'm in my kitchen doing this. So I will get back to you after I get this apart and see if it's gummed up or anything like that. And then hopefully when I get back to you next, we'll be still working on the carburetor, or it might be tomorrow. Yeah, the life of a family man, you know what I mean? So, alright, take it easy. Alright, it's the next day on the bike. The carburetor issue is going to be a lot more serious than I thought. As you can see, I went ahead, cleaned it all up, inside and out. The only problem is that the needle and seat valve needs to be replaced, and the screw at the bottom of it is also messed up. So I went up to my local bike, you know, parts dealer or whatever you want to call it, and they basically told me it was going to cost me about $120 to get all those parts for the inside of the carburetor that I need. So I found a carburetor offline, a whole one, brand new, for $118. So I went ahead and ordered that instead of messing with this one. So right now I won't be able to run it until my carb comes in. It might be a couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing everything else on the bike that I need to get done, so when that carburetor comes in, I can fire it up and take it for a first ride. So what I've been doing with the bike is that I deleted these big bubble things right here. I'm going to go ahead and get a cone filter for this side. I deleted the other big bubble on the other side, took all that out, reshoved the wiring up like underneath the tank so that's all hidden, so it's a little bit clean like this side is. My seat came in. Well, picked it up from my Uncle John. He did a pretty fucking good job on it. That cost me about $140 from him. So that's all done. That looks nice. Then me and my buddy went ahead and chopped the exhaust off. Those huge long pipes made it super quiet. But we fired it up with some starter fluid, and I love how it sounds with it being straight piped. So you all know that this is a fake pipe. That's a real pipe. And then your mid pipe comes down here from the other way. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off up here and just keep it hidden. And then I'm going to go ahead and exhaust wrap these 2 pipes so it just looks a little bit nicer. But I love how it sounds with the straight pipes. So I'm going to go ahead and take the pipes off, take them upstairs, and start wrapping them. And I'll get back to you guys when I start doing that. Alright, got the pipes off. That's the fake one. This is the real one. The real one has a little bit of like rust up here. Not so beautiful chrome where I hacked it off with an angle grinder. So I'm going to go ahead and round that off a little bit. Hit it with heat paint, black heat paint around this side and around the tip so it doesn't look so rough. And then I got this wrap that's in black. And then I picked up like hose clamps for a couple bucks. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up a little bit. And once I clean them up, I'll start wrapping them. And then we'll see how they turn out. Alright, get back to you guys after I start doing that shit. Alright, I went ahead and cleaned up the smaller pipe and the bigger pipe. Hit it with heat paint just on the corners of it and where there's kind of some rust that I sand down a little bit so they don't rust out. Cleaned up the ends like I said, and then I started wrapping. One thing I've never wrapped before, so never wrapped an exhaust before, so I didn't know that this had to be like somewhat wet so it can form to the pipe better. So I took my daughter's old like tangler shit that was out and I just filled it up with water. And I've been soaking it and then wrapping it. And this is the finished product on the fake pipe. Basically only just for looks. But the hose clamps I picked up, they were on a clearance thing in front of Lowe's, so they only cost like $1. They were kind of long, so tightened them down a lot and then clipped them off. But that is what the long one is going to look like. Now I do kind of wish I went with exhaust ties now, even though I told the guy at AutoZone it's kind of stupid that they're $16 for some fucking ties, but I get it, it looks nicer. But also it kind of still gives it that raw look on how I kind of build stuff. So I think for the first time wrapping I did okay. I tried to keep the same pattern as best as I could. I know it does vary a little bit, but I think it looks really good. So the small one is done. Painted the tips black, so that looks nice when you look down it. And yeah. But yeah, that one is done. I love what it turned out like. I like what the wrap made the exhaust pipes look like because I've already kind of put a little bit more money into this than I planned, you know, like always. So instead of buying new exhausts, I figured I'd cut them off, straight pipe them, and make them look a little bit more better. But now we're going to go ahead and wrap the big boy and then put them right next to each other and see how they look. And then I'm going to throw them on the bike. So yeah, till then. Alright, roll's a lot smaller. Got some extra shit on the floor. Show you the finished product. Boom. I think they turned out pretty good. I know that there is 1, 2, 3 wrinkles in this whole long pipe. So I kind of just called it a day and that doesn't really bother me. So I didn't wet them. I didn't wet the wrap like I was supposed to, so it was a little harder, but it still turned out good. This is just to hold me over until I buy new exhaust for it. Probably a little ways through the summer. So I like how they turned out. I can't wait to put them on the bike and see what they look like. So the exhaust right now is done. And now I'm going to go ahead and use this WD-40 to try to free up my blinker switch on my bike. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to go get a new one or take it apart and clean it a little bit better. But we're going to see if this works first. And then hopefully that switch will be fixed. So I will get back to you guys once I have the exhaust on and I'm starting to fuck with that switch. So until then. Boom. Exhaust is wrapped and on. I think it looks pretty good. It's going to look even better when the motor's flat black. But those are on. Love how they turned out. Went up to AutoZone, picked up this filter. Cut out like a exhaust. It was called like an here, let's see what it's called. An exhaust installator. And like a $6 or $7 filter. And was able to cut it up and make it fit to the stock mount. So that turned out pretty good too. Zeus, get out of here. Zeus, get out of here. Come on, get out of here, boy. Damn dog. But it's starting to come along. So the seat's done, exhaust is done, air filter's done, waiting for the carb to come in. The next video I'm gonna lower the shocks, most likely paint the wheels in the engine, and have a ride-along video. So this will end the first update on the 1988 Virago Route 66 edition. See you guys next time.